Hey guys, it's Abi from Autumn of Pellinor, and today I am doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This is the first time I'm doing it, I'm pretty sure. I've got all the questions on my phone, they're all going to be linked down below, as well as links to the original creators and all of that jazz. I just really wanted to do this because I don't think I've done it before and it's a really fun video. Fuck off. So, question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2020? Is this even a fucking question? The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon is a high fantasy book following lots of different points of views from a very well developed world as they try to stop an evil overcoming the world. It was so good. It was so good. I love it so much. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020, and for me that's going to be Devil Darling Spy by Matt Colleen. This is the sequel to Orphan Monster Spy. It's a historical fiction set in World War II times, and this one I was surprised because I didn't read it properly. I didn't read the synopsis before I started it because I'm a fucking idiot. But this actually goes to the continent of Africa, starting off in Egypt and going through there, and I did not expect that and really enjoyed it. I mean, I would have expected it if I'd read the fucking synopsis. Also, being able to talk would be great. Question 3. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Seasons of War by Skullduggery Pleasant. This is, oh fucking hell, I don't know, book 13? I'll put it on the screen. Have fun editing, Abby. In the Skullduggery Pleasant series, I've loved this series since I was a kid. I will continue to read every single book. I read Bedlam like a month or 2 ago and really enjoyed it. So. Question 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I've not kept track of anything that's getting released in the second half of the year. Something that was like kind of released around about now, so I guess it could be the second half, is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? The Hunger Games one. I kind of want to read that, but it's going to be a while before I get to it. It's not like a priority. So I'm reading my backlist this year, so this is like not really relevant to me. Question 5 is the biggest disappointment. I was kind of hoping I'd love it. This is a classic about a little dog that wouldn't leave its master's grave, and it's like a true story but retold in fiction. It was fine. I just wasn't keen on the writing style. Question 6 is the biggest surprise, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I only read this for the Thrillerathon because it was the group book and I was like, oh yeah, I have this, I picked it up. Might as well give it a go seeing as it's the group book, and I ended up loving it and I found it really difficult to put down, and yeah. Next. Question 7 is my favourite new author. Question 7 is my favourite new author or someone who's a debut or new to me. Not a debut author, but Sabathia, who wrote Ember in the Ashes and that whole series. I loved it. I reread this. No, I fucking didn't. I read this for the first time, buddy reading it with my Cheshire Rabbit, Caitlin, and we loved it so much, and I'm really excited to read Torch Against the Night with her. That pile's gonna fall. Then, newest fictional crush. I don't do this. Like, no. This is not a, no. I don't get it. Like, I'll get, like, if I'm reading like a really well written romantic subplot, I'll get the fluttery butterfly feelings because it's written well, but I don't fancy them. I just want them to, newest favourite character, 100% Iad. Iad is my main bitch. I would die for this girl, and I need more from her. Guys, this book. Oh, it fucked me up. Yeah, Iad is one of the points of view that you read from in here. She's got magic from the mother, and she's protecting a queen, and she's awesome. So, she's my favourite character. Book that made me cry. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, I listened to the audiobook and I distinctly remember it was a sunny day and I was at the top of a double-decker bus coming home from the city centre. I was at the front and I was sat there crying. Trying not to cry because I was in public fucking crying listening to this book. It hit really close to home, and so yeah, that definitely made me cry. Question 11 is a book that made me happy, and I reread Heidi by Johanna Spiri this year, and I love this. This and like The Secret Garden were some of my favourite books as a kid. They always just make me feel like at home in that cheesy way when you reread a childhood favourite. Question 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received, and for me this was a gift from my aunt when I last saw her, and that's The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tuchok. This was in the works and my aunt picked it up for me along with a couple other books because she's lovely and I love her. And this is just a really pretty cover in my opinion. I love the foiling. I'm looking in the viewfinder. I love the foiling and I love the feathering, and it's really pretty. I've not read it and I probably won't read it for a while, but it's very pretty. And then the final question, question 13, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now, I have been trying to read all of the books on my TBR shelf. There's still a lot. There's about 160 books that I still need to read. But the one that I'm going to mention is I have finally got my couple? The fuck? I finally got my copy of Samuel Noack, which is by Caitlin J. Bolton, so over at My Cheshire Rabbit. I'm so excited to read this. This is a historical fiction set in World War I. I haven't read it yet, which is why I'm not sure. It says set during the earliest Can I fucking read? Can I fucking speak? No. Set during the early 20th century, the biggest hardship of all mankind, a weak man learns to live through the hard times and the Great War. So Great War, so I'm assuming First World War. And yes, I'm really excited to read Caitlin's book. I am going to read it by the end of the year. I'm 8 pages into it. I couldn't resist starting it when it came in the post, but I'm in the middle of other books on the bedside table. But like look, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So yeah. And it's a decently short book as well. I say decently short, it's like 230 pages, so it's not going to take me that long to get through. But yes, I am really excited to read this one. I'm also really excited to read a lot more. It's going to be on ebooks because we're in lockdown and I am not going out. UK is opening back up. No thank you. So I'm going to have to use ebooks and audiobooks, and I'm going to be reading from a lot more black authors, which I should have been doing anyway, but I wasn't. So I'm doing that now because your bitch needs to actually get her arse in gear. And that is the mid-year book freakout tag. Have you done this? Link it down below. I want to watch it. Let me know if you guys have had a book that you have a crush on the fictional character. I need to know, like, how? I don't get it. I don't know if I will ever get it. Explain it to me. But yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to see some more of my weird ass self, click the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!